Good morning, world. It's about 6 a.m. in beautiful Snohomish, Washington, and it's Independence Day. It's October 19th, not the early July. It's Independence Day from the Seattle Fire Department. I'm a Seattle firefighter, and I'm unvaccinated for COVID-19. And apparently that's not good enough for the SFD. The Seattle Fire Department is functionally firing, and I say functionally because we'll be on the books for a while they figure out their bureaucratic nightmare. We'll be on the books for a while, but we're functionally fired today. Can no longer work in operations, doing what we've done for a long time. And they're firing people who by definition have huge amounts of integrity. People who are willing to stand on personal values at great loss. Financial loss, relational loss, professional loss. These are people of integrity, and the Seattle Fire Department doesn't want them employed there anymore. I've been a lieutenant with the Seattle Fire Department for about 3 years, and I've been with the Fire Department for about 20 years. We're not dealing with logic. I've sat at the table with Chief Harold Scoggins. We're not dealing with logic. We're dealing with agenda. The vaccine doesn't stop the spread. We know that. We've known that since the clinical trials. We have a pandemic of the vaccinated in our fire department. 81% of last month's exposures were from vaccinated employees. We've proven we can keep our patients safe over the last 18 months. I ran a COVID test site. I've had COVID. Why would I get vaccinated? Again, we're not dealing with logic. We're dealing with agenda. Let me say as I talk about this that this is not about vaccinated versus unvaccinated. I have no problem if somebody wants the vaccine. And let me talk to my firefighter brothers and sisters who are in the fire department. I'm sorry I'm leaving you. I know us leaving is going to make your job more dangerous. You're going to have to do more work, and the fire department has placed this hardship on you. But let me say, I love you. I couldn't care less if you're vaxxed or unvaxxed. This is not about vaxxed versus unvaxxed. This is about freedom to do what I want with my body. There's only one race. It's the human race. And all humans deserve dignity, respect, and honor because they are made in the image of God. We are not animals. We are spirit-filled image bearers of the divine. And that's what I'll preach to my grave. This is not about vaxxed, unvaxxed. We've got enough division in our society. The focus is always on our differences. They try to make you think it's something noble, that it's about diversity, but it's not. It's about getting you to focus on your differences to tear you apart. And this vaccination issue is no different. They are creating a two-class society where some people are the haves and some people are the have-nots. Well, I refuse to take part in that. That's called the sin of partiality in James, and I'm not going to play that game. This whole thing has come down to one thing. It's called agenda. It's not logic. It's agenda from the top. And again, whether you want a vaccine or not, I don't have an issue with the fact that there's a vaccine. But the way it's being pushed is about agenda, not logic. My personal situation, our personal situation, those of us being fired, it's come down to one word. It's come down to the word hardship. This is the game. Inslee started it with the troopers. They have granted exemptions and then effectively, functionally denied those exemptions by denying reasonable accommodations. That's the process. And we're going through a charade of a reasonable accommodation process that the chief has made clear that there's no chance of us getting an accommodation, even though there are very reasonable accommodations. They claim that we're too expensive, that we're too dangerous. You have to buy a few tests and a few masks to keep everybody safe from our pestilence. We know it's not about that, though. You want to talk about hardship? Ask our poor office staff. Ask Dory and Andrew, who are now working weekends, how much hardship there is. That wouldn't be happening to the office staff if they kept us. But there is a administrative nightmare that comes along with firing, 100 union employees or however many end up leaving. I don't even know the exact number. They're having plans and meetings and plans and more meetings with 5-10 battalion chiefs in it. How are we going to handle the staffing? We see the memos coming out. Thousands of dollars spent on these overtime meetings. So there's a lot of money right there. They're going to have to run probably 3 drill schools. That's our academy, that's our boot camp, to cover the employees lost in this. And that's not counting all the people who leave after this department's so horrible to work for that they're of a retirement age and they're like, I'm out of here. Every drill school is about $1 million. There's $3 million right there. You can buy a lot of tests and a lot of masks for $3 million. They've got a new program where they're trying to get officers like me who haven't been behind the wheel of an emergency vehicle going code red to emergencies for years. They're trying to get them behind the wheel because they're scared they're not going to have enough drivers. That's a safety risk. That might be less safe than having a pariah like me in the fire department. Increased response times. Every minute a fire is left unchecked, it doubles. Every minute CPR is withheld, survival rates drop by 10%. Houses will burn and people will die. It might not happen to you. When's the last time you called 911? But it's happening to somebody. So just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So they've chosen the greater hardship. And unfortunately, the hardship is going to fall on the firefighters who are left. Your job's going to be less safe and you're going to have to do more work and the morale's going to be worse. It's fallen on office staff and logistics folks in the fire department that are going to have to work harder to get rid of us, work harder to hire new people, work harder with less staff. And it's happening to the citizens of Seattle. I'm sorry, but it's going to take longer for a fire engine to get to your house. There will be canceled fire units. It's already happening before they fired a bunch of us. And they're preparing for it. They've changed their response plans. They had a plan and a logical reason for why there were a certain number of fire engines on certain responses. They're reducing that to handle this. No, they've chosen the greater hardship, financially and safety-wise, for the citizens of Seattle and Seattle Fire Department employees. But how do we handle this? Where do we go from here? Most of you who know me probably know where I'm going to go with this. John 1:14 says, "And the Word became flesh, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth." The Word became flesh. That's Jesus became flesh. But why the Word? I've always thought since I was little that was a peculiar way to refer to Jesus. The word, in that case, means message. It means Jesus is the message. He is everything God ever wanted to tell you about himself, wrapped up in a little baby that we celebrate on Christmas, who died and rose again, that we celebrate on Easter. He is the Word became flesh. He's everything God ever wanted to tell you about himself. So if you wonder about God, look at Jesus. Then it says, he had a glory that was as of the only Son from the Father. Jesus is God in the flesh. And then it says he was full of grace and truth. Everything Jesus did was the perfect balance of grace and of truth. My Unvaxed brothers and sisters, we've been giving them a lot of truth already. We've been turning those temple tables over as Jesus did in the face of the Pharisees, and that's okay. That's not unchristian to do that. There's a way to do it, and we've walked that line well for the most part. We've made mistakes, but we've done well. We've turned the temple tables of truth over for them, and they're not listening. It's time for grace. What is grace? It's giving someone what they don't deserve. The gospel. Jesus gave us what we didn't deserve. While we were yet sinners and his enemies, he died to make us friends. He went to the cross to pay what we couldn't. Jesus also teaches us to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us. I urge you to love the people doing this to you. If you hold unforgiveness in your heart, it only hurts you. Now I'm going to pray for those who are persecuting us. Close your eyes and pray with me. I'm not kidding. If you're watching this, pray with me. Lord Jesus, I lift up Chief Scoggins. I'm frustrated with him, God, but I love him. I pray your blessing on him, care for him, prosper him and his family. Give him wisdom to change his direction. But Lord, if you don't, we're at peace with your decision. It's your decision. You can change the hearts of men. You're sovereign over every decision, even the bad ones. I pray your blessing on Chief Scoggins. I pray for Governor Inslee, that you would bless him and care for his family, bring great joy to him on this earth. I pray that you would open his eyes and to see the people he's hurting. And I just pray, Lord, that you would protect him, be with him, bless him. And for Mayor Durkin as well, Lord, I pray that you would bless her and keep her. Make her cup of coffee as she's getting up this morning extra tasty. I pray that you would help her to open her eyes to see the truth, Lord. But even if you don't, I pray your blessing on her. Jesus, it's in your powerful, holy, saving name we pray. Amen. That's how we handle it. Love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. Celebrate Independence Day. You're moving on from people who don't want you for your religious and medical status. That's okay. Where do we go from here? Well, the Bible teaches us two things. All things work together for God's glory and your good if you love him. So, trust that. Rest in that. And let me talk to the world. There is a new class of hired guns coming out on the market. They're called Unvaccinated Fire Fighters. They're people of integrity, compassion, people with people skills. They know how to live in a firehouse for 24 hours with people, how to work out, train, cook, love each other. They've been to people's houses. At the worst moments. They didn't care what religion, what race, what gender somebody was, who they were caring for. They have incredible people skills and incredible love and care for and compassion for people. This is a burgeoning workforce of confident, hardworking, proud employees. So if you're an employer and you're looking for good people, these are people you want. Whether they have the exact skill set that you're looking for, it doesn't matter. If you have hardworking people who love people and can learn quick, you need to go hire these people right now. They're going to get snatched up quick. So my firefighter brothers and sisters who are getting fired, I know it's scary. It's scary for me too. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. But if you love God, he will work it for your good and his glory. And you do have skills that people need. Now let me talk to my family. I have a beautiful wife, Charity, and 7 amazing children. I'm blessed. I don't need the fire department. I have them. We've had some hard talks. But they've told me they don't want me to compromise my integrity. They don't want me to potentially compromise my health for more money, for the security that this job provides. That's love. They care about me. Thank you guys, family. The Vail Nation, I thank you for your support through this, through my 20 years in the fire department. You guys truly are beacons of light in a dark world, in a dark time in my life. You guys know we're going to have to work harder. But I thank you that you're choosing that with me. You guys know. Dang. You guys know how much I love you, and I'm so thankful for you. You are my greatest earthly gift that God has given me. I love you and I thank you for your support. The future's bright. It's going to be amazing. I'm about to pack up the van and head down to Occidental Park. Hang out with many of my firefighter brothers and sisters. Our family's going down. We're going to be just across the street or a little ways down from headquarters. And we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate our careers, moving on. We're going to love each other. We're going to be vaccinated, unvaccinated. We don't care. I already told you that. We've gotten incredible support from people who are staying in the fire department. Amazing. We're going to go have pancakes and bacon and eggs. We're going to celebrate Independence Day. Probably going to feed some homeless people. We've been serving them for a long time anyways. It would be my honor to feed them too. It's Independence Day. I love you guys.